Page 1 of your outline, I put a summary of the author, Joseph Mariciello, and he taught and wrote Drucker. And as you see in this bio, he's the Director of Research and Academic Director of the Drucker Institute at Claremont Graduate University. And so he also wrote the sequel to the Daily Drucker. In other words, he swims and lives and breathes Peter Drucker. And then it would be impossible if you have run across anything in management not to have heard the name Peter Drucker. He was still writing and speaking well into his 90s, and the famous Business Week cover called him the man who invented management. And maybe he didn't invent it, but he may have been the father of it. His principles have been talked about and used in management circles since he first wrote in the 30s. And so, but I did pick some things I thought would interest you. On your presentation outline, you can see how the book is organized. Every one of the 52 weeks has readings from Drucker publications, either books or journal articles or magazine articles. It then has reflections from the author, and then each week finishes with practicum prompts for application. You know, these are very tough, reflective questions. I just want to say, as I read these, I felt guilty. I'm not sure that I am capable of doing some of the things that are talked about here. In fact, some of them I don't even want to answer the question, so it's pretty tough. Then I reproduced for you on the outline what you have in the topic area. And there are 13 major divisions in the book with various weeks spent on each one of them. If you look at page 3 of your outline, I just picked one of these out to give you a flavor of what this sounds like in the book. Now, notice in the read section, Drucker said, I don't think you can do more than 2 or 3 initiatives. One is probably the best focus. You have a personal interest in it and you feel the need is great. You should start an initiative with a very narrow focus. And then this is the author's reflection on that. And again, this is a sample of what you would see in the book. He says that knowledge workers often have working lives of 50 years or more. Drucker himself enjoyed a working life closer to 70 years. And again, he was still speaking and writing in his 90s. Many become bored by the daily grind of their careers, and it requires that they repot themselves. Going on, he says, boredom leads to an underutilization of our talents. It can also lead to destructive behavior such as drug or alcohol addiction. So while it may be risky to attempt to move from success to significance, it may be more risky not to, especially for people who are experiencing boredom on the job. Now, if you want to fool somebody, you read the book yourself. Here we go. Remember this. This is Drucker's view. The Salvation Army is by far the most effective organization in the United States. No one even comes close to it in respect of clarity of mission, ability to innovate, measurable results, dedication, and putting money to maximum use. Remember that. Now, as I said, why these principles and not others? And if you look at a book like this, I mean, I can't tell you these were the most important things, but they're provocative. These are tough questions. And the principles, to me, as he talks about them, are timeless. And I hope this has given you perhaps some insight into, clearly, it was called the man who invented management. I don't know about that, but he certainly had probably the greatest impact of any writer or practitioner that we've ever seen. Hope you enjoyed that synopsis of A Year with Peter Drucker.